I am 19 years old and I make 20K a month in my gym here. My name's Jackson Pitsakis. I did this through a couple different things, but I'm going to teach you all the lessons that I learned along the way. All of these lessons are the reason that I got this gym that we're standing in right now, how I got this physique that I've been training for, how I learned to fight, started knocking people out, how I started making the money I'm making, how I started getting the girls that I'm dating. It's all the best advice that I've cultivated over the last 365 days that are going to launch you into hopefully the same rate of progress that I made over the year 2024. So we got 7 lessons today. We'll start off from the top and work our way down. Just in this year, I have started training for a fight. I have bought a gym. I went from earning $300 a week, probably in pocket, to earning 20K a month. And this is the single thing that led to all of that success. Without this first thing, none of that would have happened in the first place. And that is how to get lucky. Luck is not luck. It's a series of fortunate events that have occurred because something that you have either consciously or unconsciously put in place a long time ago. Whether it be the physique you have now, you might say that's bad luck, it's genetic. No, it is the accumulation of all the things that you've done for the past year. My physique is the accumulation of all the things that I've done for the past year. Like, for example, this year I was offered to buy a gym at 19 years old. Some might say I was in a very lucky situation. The gym that I started working at happened to want to sell, and then I was in the right spot at the right time. True. Very, very fucking true. But is it luck? Not at all. There is at least 7 things that I did, at least minimum 7 things. There's thousands of things that I did along the way that led me to get to this point where I was even an option in the first place to buy this gym. If somebody offered you to buy a gym right now, you would not go in the financial turmoil and all the hardship I went through in the past 12 weeks to buy the gym leading up to the purchase that would have allowed you to buy it in the first place. You would have given up along the way. So luck is not luck. Luck is a series of opportunities that are presented to you. If you put yourself in the right situation enough times, you are bound to get lucky. If you keep spinning the wheel, you're bound to hit green eventually. The thing is, a lot of you are just sitting at home, not spinning the wheel. What I did, I put myself in a position that would make me lucky. I got a job. My first job was a scaffolding job. The luck ratio was very low on that. Like, you're not going to go very far in that field. So I upped my luck ratio by doing my PT degree. Doing my PT degree allowed me to get in a position where I could start my own business. Then I was offered a job at a very big chain gym in Australia. I won't mention the name, but they offered me a spot at one of their gyms where you're just another trainer in the gym, basically. You're not running your business. You're just a trainer in the gym. You kind of handle the funds, but that's the only business experience you get. It's bullshit and it's a waste of time, and I wanted to go faster than that. I was told by all of my friends, all of my family, hey, that's a really good opportunity, bro. You should do that. That's a big gym. There was no growth in that, so there was no luck in that situation. If I went there, yeah, sure, maybe you got an extra couple clients than the fucking trainer next to you. But there is no opportunity that I would get any other benefit or learn any extra skills from that position that I could learn from the decision I chose, which was a smaller bootcamp boutique gym. This choice allowed me to work one-on-one with the owner of the gym, learn how he ran a business, learn how to coach clients directly, learn how to take sessions, write sessions, all of the boring stuff really. But it taught me all the back-end business mind side of things. I was working at the other gym. They would have just taught me how to be a trainer because that's your job. You're just a trainer. With this position that I put myself in, because I know how to get lucky, I put myself in the right spot. I was presented an opportunity to learn, to grow, and eventually to buy a gym. There is 0% chance you're going to get luck sitting at home in your room playing video games. You're not going to get lucky unless you're maybe gambling some shit coins. The way you get lucky is by putting yourself in lucky, opportunistic circumstances, like getting out into the fucking real world. You're not going to meet a girl sitting at home. You're not going to buy a gym sitting at home. You're not going to fucking get your dream body sitting at home. The chance you get lucky and the chance that you meet a girl who could be your wife, the chance that you get offered to buy a gym, the chance that you get your dream physique is going to drastically increase as soon as you leave the house, because it's precisely fucking 0 when you're inside the house. And as soon as you exit that door, it's gone up. As soon as you start doing more things, training, it's gone up. As soon as you start learning more, being more confident, it's gone up. You make yourself lucky by increasing the probability of luck. On to the next. Work rate. This one's gangster. The reason somebody is 10 times ahead of where you are right now is because they are working 10 times as much as you are right now. You've been sold many lies, especially in this kind of self-improvement, 4-hour work week bullshit kind of space, where you think you can do a small amount of work, get lots of results. You can get passive income straight off the bat. Passive income is not a real thing. Even if you're, for example, like if you're renting houses out, you still got to like do all this property management bullshit. You got to pay a property manager. You got to be the property manager to start with because you can't afford that shit in the fucking first place. There's a lot of boring stuff to getting passive income. It's not a real thing because you still have to do work. And usually it's very low ROI than active income. So my work rate, I've got some mathematics for you. There are precisely 8,760 hours in the year. There's 8,760 hours in the year. If you work 1 hour a day on your business, on your physique, on anything from 0 hours, you get 0 results. If you put precisely 1 hour a day, whether it be in your physique, in your business, in your mindset, that 0 will increase to 365 hours of work that you've put into those things. That is a 365% increase. So you are over three times more likely to achieve the result over the year than you were if you're putting 0. That's if you work 1 hour a day, you're 3 times more likely. The reason I am 10 times ahead of most people my age is because I precisely work 10 times more. So I am 10 times ahead of where they are because I've put in 10 times the work, 3,650 hours roughly into my physique, my mindset, and my business. Not to sound like an arrogant prick, but this is just the math. What's the math there? I'm 36 times in front of somebody that is working 0 hours, and I'm not going to do the math on the other one because I'm not actually that intelligent. I just do stuff. So the reason I am 10 times ahead of somebody who's doing literally nothing at the moment is because I have worked 3,650 more hours than them and put that much more effort into my physique, my mindset, my business, the things we were just talking about. The reason you will be, if you put 1 hour into everything, you will be 3 times ahead of somebody who's putting 0 in, is because you are doing 3 times as much work. You are working more hours through the year to get that result. So if you want to increase your results, if you want to get 10x results, you have to 10x your work rate. Eventually you find this thing called leverage, but even at my point, I'm still not there yet. I'm still finding leverage now, which might be something involving like getting trainers on board to take sessions, maybe getting like assistants to worry about my time. And that's when you start getting leverage. You start putting a little bit in and you start getting a lot more out. I can put less hours in and get more out. This is a exponential graph. You're probably, if you're doing 1 hour a week, you're around here. I'm probably only at the start of this bell curve now with 10x the amount of effort. And that is work rate. Work 10 times more to get 10 times the results. Quick math. If you want to put 1 hour a day into these things, you will get 3 times as many results as most people. I recommend putting 10 times the amount because you will get 10 times the results of most people. Stacking accomplishments is number 3. The more reasons you have to feel confident in yourself, you will feel more confident. You are not going to get confident by talking to a therapist and getting them to convince you that you're a confident, good person. You're going to get more confident by filling your backpack of things in your life that you have achieved that will make you more confident. You know precisely how hard you're working. You know precisely how much you're putting in, and you know precisely how much you're getting out. And you know what your confidence level is at the moment. If it's very low, it's because you're not doing what you should be doing, and you know that for a fact. Every time I get anxious now, all I have to do is work a little harder, put a little more in, get a little extra, and I start feeling confident again because I know all I have to do is just do a little more work to get the confidence. The backpack analogy is really good because it targets 2 things. When you put your backpack on, the more you fill it up, the stronger you get, the more weight you're carrying around, and the stronger you will become. But you filling up your backpack is stacking those accomplishments. For example, I'm training for a fight right now. That's another thing I'm trying to put in my backpack, another thing that you walk around with. And when you start getting low confidence, you can just pull something out like, oh, I just want to fight. Okay, put that back in your backpack. You just remember that. Oh, I own a business. Put that back in your backpack. I remember that. Currently, the things you have in your backpack may consist of fuck all, a Fortnite W, a started a drop shipping company and you got like 0 products sold, but you made the website. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's genuinely a start. And you just need to keep rolling with that. Stack your accomplishments. I've got a jar at home, a physical jar that I call my backpack. It's just, I tear pieces of paper off. I write something down that I've done that I'm proud of, whatever it be. I trained the hardest I've ever trained today on this date. I ran the furthest I've ever ran. I ran 10K straight. I worked out for 2 hours. You need to stack these things. You need to remember these things. You need to remind yourself why you are who you are. The reason you're not confident is because you don't believe you are who you say you are. You want to be a confident guy. You might even say you're a confident guy. Like I do oftentimes I present myself as a lot more confident than I am. Even currently, right now, I'll present myself as way more confident than I am. And I have to get things out of my backpack to remind myself, oh yeah, I actually do have a bit of intel in this situation because I have achieved these things at this age. Things that are in my jar that I have at home, maybe owning a gym, getting my dream physique young, like winning a fight soon. All of these things are going to go in my backpack and they're just things that you remember. You walk around with that, bro. You walk around every single day and nobody can take that from you. And that's stacking accomplishments. Simple. On to the next. This acronym, TWYDOITITWYDE. It's very important and I need you to remember this right now. Write it down. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. The way you train is the way that you eat, is the way that you fuck, is the way that you work. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you train hard, you work hard, you play hard. I know for a fact, this is a gross example. I know for a fact, the harder I train, the better I'm in bed with my girl, the better I'm doing at work, and the more confident I feel. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you're putting 50% in at work, you're going to put 50% in the gym. You're going to put 50% in bed with your girl and she's going to leave you. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You know when you're on a roll, you know this for a fact. You've been on a roll, you're working really hard, and all of a sudden your training has increased. And all of a sudden you're getting like attention from girls as well. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. TWYDOTITWYDE. Important. Write it down. Number 5. Ooh, this is a good one. This is what I pretty much live my life by. The clock is ticking. As soon as you were born, a clock started. It has an end date. As soon as that end date arrives, you are dead. You are going to die. There is nothing you can do to turn back the clock. There is nothing that you can do to slow down time. There's nothing that you can do to turn back the clock. The only way that you're going to get the most out of this life is by putting everything you have into every minute on that clock. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Put all of your heart and soul into every minute on the clock. You are on the clock, bro. Nobody's going to slow it down for you. Nobody's going to stop it for you. There's no excuses. Did you just see that? If you continue to waste time, nobody will care. There is no excuses. The clock doesn't take excuses. It's not going to slow down time because, I forgot about I need to work so hard because I forgot I was going to die soon. Or I forgot that I shouldn't be scrolling reels because I forgot I've only got a certain amount of hours in the day. Can you just slow down for a second? Do you mind just stopping just for one day so I can like catch up? There is no catching up. As soon as those hours have passed, somebody is either ahead of you and you are behind, or you can be ahead. You can put those hours into turbo mode by applying focus, extreme focus, and extreme urgency to your work. The clock is ticking. Do not forget that. Never forget that. This is why I've achieved everything as young as I have, because I feel like I need to. I feel like I don't have time. I don't have time. You don't have time. You don't have time to be fucking playing video games right now. I don't have time to be playing video games right now. You don't have time to be scrolling. You don't have time to be just fucking around, partying, any bullshit. You don't have time for the bullshit. Focus on the important stuff. Focus on what you want to do with your life and put all of your hours and time into that. That's the exact same thing with the work rate. I've put 10 times the amount of time because I know I value my time 10 times as much as you do. Clearly, you don't even care about how much hours you have left in this world. That is sad. You need to put a lot more into the time that you have in this world and like have it with gratitude. Like be very grateful that you've been given this clock and you're going to just waste these hours that you have. You're never going to get another shot again. Think about that. You are never going to get another shot again. Use all of the hours that you have, all of the minutes that you have to the best of your ability and like respect them. You're wasting your minutes and you need to respect them. The clock is ticking. That's a deep one. Number 6, before you go to war, stop stabbing yourself in the foot. Imagine that you go to war with a barbarian. A barbarian is in front of you. This guy wants to kill you. He wants to take your head. This is an analogy for life. Life is vicious and violent. And you both have your swords drawn and you're ready to fight. But before he even gets the chance to swing at you, you get your sword and start cutting all of your toes off for no reason. You start cutting all of your toes off because you are the one that is stabbing yourself in the foot. The barbarian is the analogy for life. The sword is the analogy for your energy, actually. And stabbing yourself in the foot is the analogy for all of the things that you do that you know you shouldn't do that are wasting your potential. These things may include scrolling. You are wasting your time and wasting your potential and cutting yourself and stabbing yourself in the foot. There is a fight that must be won and you are losing. And not only are you losing, it is your fault you're losing because you're stabbing yourself in the foot. Or watching the hub. Watching the hub. The problem with this is you're wasting so much of your energy that you could be using to fight. Not only that, you're taking your eye off the fight to focus on this thing that's not even real. They are pixels on a screen, and that is somebody else having sex with that girl. That is not you, and that is embarrassing. And you need to think about that. You are stabbing yourself in the foot. You're wasting your energy before the fight's even begun. The energy part of that is a big thing. You know how tired you are after doing that? You know you just want to go straight to bed. Sometimes you even do it to get to bed. Deep that. Think about that for a second. If you do something that you use to get to bed at the start of the day, in the middle of the day, you are going to waste your energy. Imagine you store all that energy up. Imagine you use that energy to fight and push forward. That's a real thing. May talk about that in another video. Eating bullshit is probably the second biggest thing that you can do to fuck yourself up. You can stab yourself in the foot by doing this so hard. Before the fight's even begun, you've cut your leg off. And now you're hobbling around the battlefield and this guy is just chopping you up. The food that you eat is the most important thing that is going to affect your mental state, your physical state, and your confidence as well. There's food that gives you anxiety. There is food that gives you acne and all the things and all the negative effects, physical effects that make you lose confidence. There is food that doesn't get you shredded, that makes you fat. There's food that gives you gyno, big nipples. There is food that destroys your mental clarity, so you can't even put these work rate hours in, and you cannot put all the hours in the same if you're eating shit food. I know how it is because I tried to work those 10 times as much as I was before. And this was a big thing that got me from that 1 times, so like the 3.6 times to the 10 times work rate, was cleaning up my diet because I was able to focus and put a lot more energy into just the one thing I was focusing on. The food you eat, especially carbs, is going to crash your head so bad. It makes you need to sleep in the middle of the day. You have less hours in the day. You're wasting your hours again. They all kind of line up. I hope you're seeing that. Stress tolerance. Boom. If you stepped into my body with your current mindset, you stepped into my life with your current mindset, you would drop all of the things that I have in my backpack. You would drop everything. You would drop the ball. That's because I have developed an insane stress tolerance from the process of getting all these things. That's why there's no easy winning in life. All of the stress tolerance that you get, the ability to stay confident in the position you are, the ability to carry the weight on your shoulders, is through the strength that you're given through the process. The stress tolerance that I got and developed, I could feel it happening in real time. The stress tolerance that I got from the process of getting this gym, it was a mission. Everything from all the boring financing stuff to 6 weeks of waiting, to thinking we had it, to thinking we didn't, to thinking it was going to somebody else, to thinking it's back. And you're just tangled all over the place. You're up and down on this roller coaster. And trying to stay stoic through that was probably one of the most recent important skills that I got in 2024. My stress tolerance has increased drastically. Your stress tolerance is also the thing that is going to allow you to go from that 1 times to 10 times, because work is stressful. The more stress you are able to handle, the more work you are able to do, and the more money you are able to make, and the more people you're able to help. Right now, it's about 10:30. I've already worked for 3 hours. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. I've already trained for 1 hour, 4, and now I'm working for another hour, 5. So I've been up for 5 hours, pretty much just working straight away from 5 a.m. in the morning until now. And that's because I have an insane stress tolerance. If you don't have this, you're going to feel like you need to take naps in the middle of the day. You're going to feel like you need to rest and recover. This is something that is developed through hard work only. There's other ways that you can develop the stress tolerance, and I call it the warrior mentality. Stress tolerant is just that warrior mindset, staying stoic through stressful times. Fighting is one of the biggest things that will get you stress tolerance, because you are pushing through literally somebody coming at you, fighting you, punching you in the head, and you need to stay focused and stoic through that moment. Like, so that is the single most stressful thing when you are fighting for your life. And if you can stay stoic through that, you can develop the most insane stress tolerance known to man, because it's literally the pinnacle of stress, is like fighting for your life. Another one is responsibility. The more stress tolerance you have, the more responsibility you are able to take over your own life. And the more responsibility that you take over your own life, the higher your stress tolerance will get. The reason that a lot of people don't think the things they are doing detrimental to themselves, like the things we talked about in the stabbing yourself in the foot section, is because if they even considered that thought, they would crumble, because that is way too stressful for their current mental state to handle. If they even thought about all of those things that they were doing that are bad for them, they would just fold and crumble and cry and die. They wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to even carry that thought on their shoulders. But slowly, the more responsibility that you take for your own life and the higher that your stress tolerance gets, the more responsibility you can take. Some examples of this may be your current situation, your current physique, the current money you're making. If you put all of these things on your shoulders and say, fuck, like I am the reason that everything is the way it is, because nobody's going to change it for you. Think about that. Nobody is going to change it for you. So whose responsibility is it? Nobody's going to fix it for you. It's your responsibility. Good work. These would probably be the two biggest things, and just increasing that work rate over time. As you slowly increase your work rate from that 1 hour a day to 2 hours a day to 4 hours a day to 10 hours a day, you are going to get eventually more and more tolerant to stress, because you're putting yourself in more stressful situations, which is just putting your brain under load. Think about it. Fighting is the most powerful, potent way of putting your brain under load, because it's the most physically demanding, mentally demanding thing that you have to focus your entire attention on for as long as you can. And you need to give it all you got, because you're going to die. If you increase your work rate, if you increase just the amount of time that you're put under stress or load, you increase your brain's strength. It's the same as the gym. The more that you put your muscles under tension, the bigger that your muscles get. The more that you put your brain under tension, the stronger your brain becomes and the more stress tolerant you become. Last one. This is a big one to finish off. Hopefully we have enough storage on the camera. Choosing favorable beliefs. All of the things that you have in your head, the reasons that you do things, the reasons that you believe you are the way you are, is beliefs that you have chosen consciously or subconsciously. You can choose your beliefs very consciously. It is not easy work. Why may you even benefit from choosing your beliefs? First of all, you can believe that working 10 hours a day is easy. If you have that belief in your head, working 10 hours a day becomes easy. It's very fucking crazy. Everything you believe to be true is true. And everything somebody else believes to be true is true as well. So you can be arguing the same point to someone and they can be arguing something back, and you can be both telling the truth at the same time. This is where it gets very, very confusing. Imagine that you, me, for example, are saying that working 10 hours a day is easy, because in my reality, working 10 hours a day is easy because I believe it. In your reality, you say, you're over here, you say working 10 hours a day is hard. And for you, working 10 hours a day is hard. So you're telling the truth and I'm telling the truth. Where do you go from there? What I like to do is pick the belief that is going to make me the most strong. Pick the belief that is going to be the most favorable to you. Choose the most favorable belief. Do you want to believe that working is hard? Pick that belief then. You're not going to work hard. If you want to believe working 10 hours a day is easy and it should be the only thing you're doing and it's the best way to make results and working is good, then you're going to choose that belief. Do that by constantly thinking about it, writing it down, literally saying working 10 hours a day is easy. Working 10 hours a day is easy. Every time that you get the belief that it's not, you circle back. Oh, working 10 hours a day is easy. When your brain seeps in with little thoughts, which it will at the start, it's very tough to get over these beliefs to start. Actually, that's a belief right there. It's very tough to get over these beliefs to start. Did you hear me say that right then? This could be an example of a belief that I have that's limiting. For me, currently, or past me, from now on, I'm going to change my beliefs because we're doing it in real time here. I'm going to believe that changing beliefs is easy. Past me believed that changing beliefs was hard. And it was hard for him. So he was right. Future me is going to experiment with changing beliefs as easy. And I'm going to change my beliefs very easy. And then from there, my new reality has changed. And the truth has changed. That's the thing as well. Truth. Truth is subjective, especially in this belief sector. I believe that training is easy. I believe that working is easy. I believe that you need to love as much as you can. I believe that you need to work as much as you can. I believe there's certain priorities you need to have, and one of them is being work as a man. If you believe that work should not be a priority as a man, then I'm going to work more than you because I believe that it is, and you believe that it's not. But the biggest thing would be that you believe 1 hour is hard. I believe 1 hour is easy. Which one is going to get you the most results? You can choose the beliefs that you have, and you need to be very conscious of this process. Choose the beliefs that are going to make you the most progress. I believe I'm going to win this fight. This guy believes he's going to win this fight. Whose belief is stronger? That's deep. That is very deep, because that will ultimately decide the truth. Anyway, that's all for this video. I have a free community in the description, a school community where me and the boys and you very soon we'll be talking about all of these stuff back and forth. We'll be changing our beliefs together. I give out free courses on how to kind of train to get a good physique if you don't really know how to do that, how to increase your work rate, all the things we didn't really go over here, and all of the things we did go over here in more depth, one-on-one. We do some calls, we do all the fun stuff. So if you want to get involved in that, it's completely free. Just join the community below in the description, and I'll see you in there, bro. Appreciate the video. In a bit. Like and subscribe.